Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Travel with the Stars.
What?
And I am joined by two of my wonderful fellow stars today. I've got Susan and Donna with me. Hey, ladies. How you doing?
Hi.
Yay. Okay. So today we are going to talk about something a little different. Yes, we do a lot of Disney conversations, which we love because we love Disney so much. However, we do sell other things. And one of the other products that we really love is Norwegian Cruise Line. I just got off of Norwegian Cruise Line. Susan was on over the end of the summer, right?
Fall. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fall. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And Donna, you were on recently as well.
Summer. Yep.
Summer. Yep. So, all fresh in our brains, and we need to share with you about these amazing ships, about the freestyle cruising, because this is like different than what you're used to, right? You're used to maybe thinking of cruising as your set dining times. We have, which there's nothing wrong with that. We love set dining times sometimes, depending on the family, right? But sometimes you might want to be a little more cash. You might want things just a little bit more your way, and that's where Norwegian Cruise Line comes in. So let's talk about it. Donna, what is freestyle cruising? What is it?
So freestyle cruising allows you to have things more your way, your style. It's not set in stone. Now, you can make a dining reservation for every single night of your cruise if you want to. It can be at a different time. It can be a different restaurant. Or you can go, where do I want to eat tonight? What am I hungry for? And you can walk over and you can say, hello, may I have a party of however, or sometimes it's right there on the app, depending on the vessel. Oh yeah. Okay, there's this wait time. I'll go ahead and do this. And it is so flexible. You are not seated with the same people every night, unless you want to be seated with, the group of people that you're with. You can request a table for 2, 4, 6, 10, whatever you want. It's really personalized to you. So nothing again wrong with the set dining time, the set service staff, the set people, but freestyle cruising just kind of allows you to do a little bit more on your time.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Susan, in addition to being freestyle and having, the ability to dine when we want and with the people we want, I'm worried though. Am I going to get sick of that same dining room over and over again? I mean,
well, that's a great question. On a lot of the ships, we have 2 main dining rooms, so you have the option to move between 2. The menus are still going to change every night, so you're not stuck. It's not like you're going to Applebee's and your only choices are what's on that menu. It actually does change up. But there are so many amazing specialty dining options on Norwegian, which is where I think they really shine. Their main dining rooms are wonderful, but specialty dining, everything from a steakhouse to Japanese, teppanyaki, sushi, Italian, all kinds of wonderful options in a small, intimate restaurant. Very quiet, lots of options. You can dine however you want with different variety of options. Plus, of course, they have a giant buffet. Every ship always has a buffet.
Oh, yes.
An option.
And some of the ships, I will say, have 2 almost buffet styles. One traditional buffet and one on the newest class of ship, the Primas, the Prima class. There is another one where you're going to sit there and order from iPads, but you walk around and you can see the little station. And why is it just, it's escaping my
food indulge hall.
That's it. Yes, the food indulge hall. That's it. Indulge food
That's what you do.
Oh, there you go. That is my favorite. I love that so much.
It's so good. And I know we got, I was there with Agent Katie, who was not able to join us today. And we were sitting there with all these like amazing little small plates and bites, and we were sharing things, and it was like tapas style. Oh, and then like she got like a faux bowl, and I got like gnocchis. I don't know, they were really good. Now we should mention that these specialty dinings, we do recommend reservations, which you can make in advance on there. Only because a lot of people take advantage of them because Norwegian has something called free at sea, and I feel like this is something we should probably
100%.
I mean, so Donna, why don't you tell us a little bit, what does free at sea entail?
So when I talk to my clients about free at sea, I start with what's really 100% free, cost you nothing to have included with Norwegian Cruise Line's free at sea offers. So no expense to you. Every single port that you stop in, whether it's domestic or international, you get $50 for the lead guest off of your shore excursion. So
Yep.
it's like a transfer that you're going from, my family did this in Alaska when you're in Anchorage and you have to get out to the cruise terminal in Seward. The transfer, we got $50 off. Woo!
Fantastic.
And $50, I mean, some people are like, oh, whoop-de-doo, $50. But to me, I'm like, $50 times 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things. Yeah.
That adds up.
Free at sea. And I always like to say for the first guest, because it gets a little wonky if, mom and dad are in the stateroom and the kids are doing something and the parents aren't. But $50, again, no cost to you.
Right.
You get a small internet package, again, no cost to you. It doesn't, it's not, buy this and get this. It's truly free.
Yep.
And you also get the opportunity to buy into some other options. So the reason I say buy into is because you're not paying for the package per se. You're going to pay the gratuity on it.
Right.
So that's really, really reasonable. For example, when you were talking about these specialty dining restaurants, and when Susan said teppanyaki, I'm like, teppanyaki. Yum, 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 yum. So whenever I hear it, I'm like, oh, like the glands in the back of your mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yes, Susan. But with that, you're only paying the gratuity on it, which last time I booked was $11.50. That is
per person. Ridiculous.
Correct. Guess 1 and 2. Guess 1 and 2.
True. Right.
So, but again, you're getting the meal for free. All you're paying is the gratuity to those lovely folks who are serving you that meal in that specialty dining restaurant. Yeah. And that will depend, of course, on which kind of stateroom you're in, interior or an ocean view balcony. So there are some pieces that we'll talk you through, of course, but you do have the opportunity for that small, tiny little amount to get that specialty dining. And then the other one that a lot of folks take advantage of is an alcohol package. So again, you're not paying for the package. Right. You're going to pay the gratuity on the package. That amount I won't quote for you because that's totally going to depend on how long your cruise is, but you're just paying the gratuity on the package. So instead of every single time you go to the bar, you swiping your card and it getting charged back to the room and them adding the gratuities, all you're doing is paying for your daily gratuities on that drink package. Your soda, your liquor, your beer, your wine, all going to be included if you take advantage of the free at sea offers.
Yeah.
And then Susan or Jen, air. Does anyone want to talk about the free at sea air piece? The second guest.
Go ahead. Yeah. So frequently you can also do the buy one get one air. So you have 2 people or 4 people sailing in your stateroom. You're only paying for airfare for the first person and the third person. If you've got 4 people in there, or if you've got just 2, you're only paying airfare for the first person. It's a pretty amazing deal, especially when you're talking about flying internationally or flying to Alaska, Canada, Hawaii. Yeah, those are pretty tremendous pricing. You have to be pretty flexible on your schedule. They're going to pick your flights for you, but as long as you're flexible, the price is phenomenal.
It really is. I mean, and then, in addition, we can always prepay your gratuities as well. I mean, just, keep in mind that's something that we can wrap into the package in addition to your free at sea. And you can specify, and, that's one of the things we'll ask you. Hey, what do you want to include? Most of the time, we default to all 4 free at sea, right? Maybe not necessarily the air, but all 4 of the free at sea because it's such a popular option. And really, especially with that beverage package, people save money with it. And there are lots of places to utilize it on the ships. So let's talk about the ships. So we've talked about the dining a little bit. There are lots of lounge and relaxation spaces on the ships. So do you guys have a favorite? Do either of you have a favorite you want to throw out there? I know it's so hard. Katie and I were loving the Soleil. I know. So I will say Katie and I loved at the back. So aft is the proper terminology.
Yes.
Aft of the ship. It was
Soleil bar.
The Soleil bar had this beautiful seating area with all these loungers. It was really close to the indulged food hall. And it was just great to go sit out there and it, being in the winter, like there can be some wind. It was still nice and warm, like we had the sun, but it was just such a relaxing place to be. So we really loved that outdoor space.
I mean, outdoors, that can't be beat. Indoors, I really like at
Yeah.
the very, very, again, using deck terms, forward, very forward, the
Yeah.
observation lounge that wraps around the new Prima class ship. Although I will say I'm tall, I'm 5'9". I can't tell you the number of times I went to lean forward, dunk, I'm like repeatedly, how much instance of alcohol, like lean forward, dunk, like what are you doing? So beware the noggin. But that was just a beautiful and calm and quiet space, which sometimes kind of need that escape from the buzz of the speedway or this, that, and the other thing, to have that nice quiet space. You can get a drink at the bar right there. And plus I'm like a history person, so I really like seeing like all the historical stuff they had up in that observation area.
And they have some snackies too sometimes, at least on the Viva they did.
Yeah. And that view cannot be beat. All that glass in the front of the window, you can see everything everywhere. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, it's just seriously one of the best spots. And I think we were just surprised at how large it is. There's so much space right there. But we just kind of teased a couple of other things. So let's talk about, Donna referenced this, the speedway. There we go. Susan, talk about the speedway a little bit. What is she talking about?
Yeah, the speedway. So you want to get in a race car and race on a cruise ship? Yeah, we can totally do that. Depending on your ship, it's 2 or 3 decks, lots of place. You can ride by yourself. You can ride with a friend, with a family member. You get to drive, race up and down, outdoors, wearing your safe helmet, of course, and a safe seat.
Oh, yes.
But so much fun. It's something that's different than any other cruise line, totally unique offering to Norwegian. It's pretty fun.
Something else that I found to be really unique was like some of the entertainment spaces. So like specifically, I'm thinking on the Viva, and I'm pretty sure it's the same on the Prima, like that main
theater.
Thank you. That's the word I was like, that theater space.
Yes.
It can be converted to so many different things.
Yeah. I love that those seats all slide back like really wonky stadium bleacher seating. And then all of a sudden you've got this whole dance floor down there. It's the neatest setup.
Yeah.
And they can change it for what they need it to be. So we saw on the Prima inaugural, they had what was the group Stomp It? Does that sound right?
Yeah, well, something like that. Yeah, we saw that one too.
Pretty close, yeah.
Yeah.
So they were able to, instead of it being, think of like bleacher seating, but instead of it being bleachers without a back, it's actual comfortable like padding. So for those people who are like, what are these crazy people talking about? Like convertible seats and tucks in, like, because when I heard about it, I was like, this can't be comfortable. It's totally comfortable. It's like you're sitting in a traditional theater in traditional padded seats, and then they can tuck it away or pull it out. And they were able to make this giant space for the stage to come out, for the performers to be on, while still having the theater style seating. And then later that night, it's all tucked away for the dance club and the light package as you're walking in. Like that was just one of the neatest things. I felt like that was Norwegian kind of like pushing the envelope and saying like, okay, like this can happen in a space. We can do this. This is possible.
Yeah. And that neat little chandelier that like,
that thing's amazing.
What? Like
lights and
projections? Like it looked like there was like whales swimming through, and I was like, what? So cool.
It's like ridiculously heavy too. I don't know where my notes are, but I remember like being cold and slightly afraid sitting under it.
Me too. I was like, that's really heavy.
You're like looking at like, whoa. And I know we were sitting, Katie and I were sitting, there was a panel of people, they were like executives, and they were, talking about some of the newer things on the Viva and what they had, maybe like adjusted a little bit from the Prima, and they sort of teased the new Aqua, which is the next class. It's gonna be amazing, 2025. But anyway, we were sitting there and Katie was just like, this is just mesmerizing. I love these whales. Whale. Oh my gosh. That was neat. And then in the theater, now our show was Beetlejuice on the Viva.
Okay.
Donna, what did you have? Do you remember?
Summer. Donna Summer the musical. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was so good.
It is legit Broadway, legit Broadway shows.
Yeah.
And some originals, and just legitimately amazing cast. I don't know if you guys want to throw anything in about that, but I was stunned. by
So
what
we
they
had a conversation with one of the actors from Beetlejuice.
Ooh.
She was actually on one of our tours. And she said she has done traveling Broadway before
Uh-huh.
with Beetlejuice. So she has a lot of experience. She said it's the full Broadway show minus one song. So you are legitimately getting a Broadway show on this ship.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, I think the entertainment, the Broadway style entertainment on Norwegian is where they really shine. They have some
Yeah.
great options on their
Mhm.
ships with some beautiful entertainment.
Yeah. And I see one of our friends of Upon a Star, Melissa, has joined us, and I just have to say, she is a foodie. Melissa is definitely a
Mhm.
foodie. This is a foodie's paradise. Like, just going back to that, like, Norwegian is totally a foodie paradise, and a Broadway lover's paradise,
Mhm.
and just an entertainment lover's paradise. There are so many things around the ship, and sometimes they even have smaller venues. I know one of the other things we did.
Mhm.
So, and here's where I'm not going to remember. It's guy. Oh shoot,
Sid
it's the little
Norman.
Sid Norman. There we go.
Powerhouse.
I was
I
like,
was looking at
wow.
it. Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
That is the
We
coolest venue, isn't it?
That is the coolest venue, and on
Yeah.
some of and I say by older ships, I mean, like, the 2016, 2017,
Mhm.
like the Escape, the Getaway. It's a dueling piano bar. It was a Howl at the Moon, but this is the Sid Norman. They had a show. It was like Stevie Nicks. It was the entire the last album that they did as a band, like, before
Oh,
everything fell apart, and they told the story throughout, and literally the one gal who was playing Stevie Nicks, like, looked like Stevie Nicks. I mean, it was on point, just amazing. They could have done 2 albums. We would have sat there the entire time.
no, they definitely have cool spaces. I love their comedy club, which also
Oh,
doubles as a
yes.
fun place to do karaoke. So if you enjoy
Yes.
karaoke, they have like that fun space. And I really like that they are able to turn spaces into family
Yes.
spaces and then later in the
Mhm.
night turn them into adults only spaces. Because
Absolutely.
that tends to be a question that I get because I talk about Norwegian a lot because I truly love the brand.
Mhm.
And I get the questions of, is there stuff for kids? And then I
Mm.
spew all the kids things. And then oftentimes they're like, okay, well, that's not what I thought you were going to say. What about adults? Like, what's there for
Yeah.
adults? And then, you gotta kind of flip the score there a little bit. But it's just, I think they do a really nice job of
Mhm.
balancing and also making multiple uses of those
Yeah.
spaces.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. Anything, Susan, to add about the kid spaces or teen spaces? Of course, Ethan's not really even a teen anymore, is he?
Yeah, he's like an adult, a pretend adult. No, I think they do kid spaces very well. Every ship's going to have great spaces for kids broken into by their
Mhm.
age groups up through teens. So anywhere from your younger children up through teens, they're going to have supervised activities,
Yeah.
a place to hang out, somewhere for them to go. So you can
Yeah.
go do those fun adult things or adult dinners or
Mhm.
whatever it is that you're enjoying
Yeah.
while they and go and have fun too. Plus
Absolutely.
the slides and the speedway and all
Right?
the other fun things to do around the ship itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Gosh, and of course, they have the pools, they have the hot tubs, they have great stops. So one of the stops is Great Stirrup Key, often, I should
Mhm.
say, in the Caribbean, specifically, 'cause that would be their private island, in the Bahamas. That is such a neat spot, very relaxing. They have some music, some live bands, of course, a beautiful beach, excursions to go on. But they don't just sail the Caribbean. I think it's important to point
Mm,
out
yeah.
because Susan was just in Greece.
I was. I was in Greece and Rome and Turkey on a Norwegian cruise. I've done Hawaii. I've done the Caribbean. I've done Mexico. And I think that is a huge perk for Norwegian. They have some very unique itineraries.
Mhm.
Not only are they doing Alaska, Hawaii, Caribbean, Bahamas, and Europe, but they have itineraries through the Middle
Yeah.
East. You want to go to Bahrain or
Yep.
Saudi Arabia, UAE. You want to go to South America. You want to cruise
Mhm.
down to Antarctica, Canary Islands. So
Yep.
many unique itineraries that are
Mhm.
offered that some of the mainstream cruise lines just don't do. I
Yeah.
think that is huge for Norwegian. Some
Agreed.
very unique places to sail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The only
Donna.
destination that Susan didn't mention that I will add is the Panama Canal.
Oh, good one.
I've had a lot of folks do Panama Canal with Norwegian, and you can do, as you can with some other cruise lines, you can either do like go into the canal a lock or two and come right back out, and then that'll be a shorter itinerary, or you can go from the West Coast to the East Coast, full transit through the canal with Norwegian.
That's a great one.
You can add land tour options with Norwegian. So not only in Alaska, but also they've just added a beautiful one in Venice. So you have options
Ooh,
to,
nice.
oh yeah, it looks amazing, to expand your time and have that be organized by the cruise line. So the same level of organization, the same care that you would be getting, you get for that land portion. I really only suggest for Hawaii Norwegian. I feel like Pride of America kind of is the standard for Hawaii with it living there. It doesn't leave Hawaii. There's no casino on Pride of America because she's always in U.S. water.
Right.
That's what they do. It's not something that they dabble in. So when you're picking a cruise line, just like anything else, you have to know what you're looking for. What are your must-haves? What are your I don't know about this, and that's kind of where we step in and hopefully help you choose something that makes sense for you.
Absolutely. And I should say also, with the Pride of America, it does overnight in Maui and Kauai, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
You want to sometimes experience the nightlife on that island. And if you're someone who's like, no, I just want to go to Hawaii this once. I just want to like see all the, the big things, right? You're not going to like really get into the, interior of all the islands and, do all of the things. It can be such a great option. But before we wrap up, ladies, we have to talk about one other thing, because many, many Norwegian ships have something called the Haven.
So my parents cruised on Norwegian and the Haven many, many moons ago, and they pretty much have never gone back. And I'm not going to complain because we get to often travel with them. So yay, Mom and Dad!
Yay!
I dragged them on another cruise line that my family also loves, and my mom, to her credit, was like, "All right, that was fun, but bring me back to Norwegian." so I want that level of service. So I feel like the Haven, Norwegian calls it a ship within a ship. So essentially this idea, folks, would be that you wouldn't have to leave your bubble of the Haven unless you wanted to. A lot of the vessels have a private dining room just for Haven guests. So you can go and you can have your buffet breakfast there. You can have your plate at lunch there, your plate at dinner there. You have a private sun deck, which oftentimes is going to include a small pool, but a pool, a hot tub or two, a beautiful lounging area. When we cruise to Alaska, the butlers bring out, a butler, hello.
There's a butler.
Minor detail. You have service, butler and concierge service. So you have a butler who truly tends to your every need. No sooner did the thought pop into my head of, man, it's cold, I'd really like some hot chocolate. Then the butler walks in with his tray with the little marshmallows on top for my little child, who was like, Mama, marshmallows. I'm like, yeah, eat the marshmallows, kid. Here you go. It's just, it leaves your blessed mind. It brings the level of service up so high that it really is hard to come back and do like normal people things. Because it's like, oh, where's the person bringing me my this, that, and the other thing? I'm just having breakfast in my stateroom, hot breakfast served, by the butler. And it's just, it's really cool. You get priority embarkation, debarkation, tender tickets, the escorts. It's great. The snacks that they bring you every night. We cruised for my dad's 75th birthday and they decorated the stateroom for him. They just go above and beyond. And plus the stateroom options are cool.
Yes, they're cool.
So as you go up in the classes within the Haven, you could have a suite. You could have a 3-bedroom villa that could sleep, 7 or 8 people. And it's 3 separate rooms with a gigantic living area. We did this for an Alaska cruise and a Caribbean cruise. So my son had a room, my husband and I had a room, my parents had a room. And we all were together in this gorgeous villa space that had a, 2,000 square foot patio that we could have had 50 of our closest friends hang out on with us. It's like mind-blowing. Like, I honest to goodness did not know spaces like that existed on a ship until I was on one. And I was like, this is crazy. This is so stinking cool. So there are just so many options within that Haven class and
it's stunning. It's stunning. You walk in and you're like, What? Just, I mean, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Like,
Hot tub.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Just for you.
luxurious. Yeah, you've got upgraded amenities in your bathroom, much nicer shampoos and conditioners. It's more spacious.
Yes.
Sometimes you get double sinks in there.
Oh.
And then the private elevator just for Haven on some of the ships. And
Mhm.
your own little entrance when you're coming back to port. There's a sign that says Haven, and you get to go in this short line and go right to your elevator, and up you go. And yeah, it's pretty amazing.
It's just absolutely fantastic. Oh gosh, I
This is
love
hard
it.
to go back. We will warn you.
Yes, yeah, let you go. Just be prepared to be like, oh yeah, I can only sail this way now.
Now we're Haven people.
But you know what? And I just thought of one other thing. We should shout out the studios for our solo.
You know what?
travelers.
Yes.
They are very efficient little spaces
Mhm.
with a lovely little lounge area so that if you are traveling solo, there are other solo travelers that you might want to get to know. You don't have to. But you know what? It's a cool little sitting space. I loved touring that area, and I just thought the use of the space was really, really interesting.
And now
And
Norwegian's also added the other categories too. That now
Yes.
you can book it solo, not paying double occupancy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So next year you can do single occupancy for an ocean view or a balcony as well, and still have access to that lounge, which they didn't have before.
I love
Great
that.
little hangout space. Yeah. If you just want to meet some other people who were traveling by themselves.
Yeah. And because more and more, I feel like there are more and more people who are wanting to travel solo and wanting to
Absolutely.
go do things. And it's just a great way to know that you're going to be with like-minded people. Other people who want to travel, by themselves. Or maybe you're traveling with a group and you just only want to pay a single occupancy, which totally makes sense. You don't have a roommate or whatever. But again, I was pleasantly surprised with the layout of those rooms. I was like, okay, yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, ladies, for joining today and chatting Norwegian. Obviously, we are all fairly passionate about this subject. Susan, where can everybody find you on the web?
Yeah, you can find me on Facebook at Susan's Great Escapes or on Instagram at Uponastar Susan. Or you can email me at susan@uponastartravel.com.
Awesome. How about you, Donna?
So you can find me on Facebook at Happy to Travel with Donna is my little handle. You just have to type Travel with Donna and it'll pop up. Or you can email me, donna@uponastartravel.com.
Right. You can follow me at Uponastar Jen or email me, jen@uponastartravel.com. And of course, you can always check us out on the web, uponastartravel.com, or at Uponastar Travel, basically in all of the places. You can also see some of the photos and videos that we have posted from our various travels. You kind of scroll back a little bit. But of course, we'd love to help you with your Norwegian vacation, wherever that would happen to be, whether international or, well, domestic in Hawaii, because really, that's an option too, or Alaska. So, but guys, don't forget, there is a whole new world of travel to discover. We'd love to help you here at Uponastar Travel, and we will see you real soon.